For those just joining us, I am Michael Bernzweig from Software Oasis, the host of today's webinar on security and speed, future-proofing your email and content. We host weekly webinars on the latest in B2B software solutions to help small and medium-sized businesses stay on top of the emerging software tech. Today's speaker lineup includes Diego Richards, CCO of Stillio, Casey Hill, Senior Growth Marketing Manager over at Active Campaign, and I will be speaking about the Yabasoft Interactive Solution as the third presentation. So if you're not already subscribed for webinar reminders, be sure to register at softwareoasis.com/webinars. During this webinar, each sponsor has graciously made a special offer available to attendees for their software solutions. We will include a link to each of those in the chat and follow up in an email. If you're watching a webinar replay, you'll see it up at the top of the screen where you can click on the special offers. So be sure to take advantage of those. And we have people joining us from all different parts of the world today. I am actually joining from just outside of Boston, Massachusetts in Westboro. So we are very honored to have everyone joining us today. And during the webinar, type into the chat any questions you have for the guest speakers. While we may not have time to get answers to all of the questions, we'll definitely provide answers to every question and a replay of this webinar in next week's webinar reminder email. So I'll ask everyone to set aside distractions for this next hour to get the most out of this webinar. You're in for a real treat, and you'll hear from a panel of some of the world's top experts on the different areas that they're speaking about. So with that, I am actually going to pass the mic over to Diego from Stillio to let us know about his area of expertise.
Perfect. Thanks, Michael, and the other speaker to be joining us today. So yes, I am going to talk about a lot of proof of content, future proof of content, content marketing, and how to use it for your company, even if you are a solo founder company or if you are a medium or big company. So I'm going to share my screen for my presentation. Okay, I'm starting with the beyond screenshots. What you're going to see now is an automated screenshot service, but the important thing is what is beyond those screenshots and what you can do with our service. The agenda of my presentation is going to be about Stillio, what we do. We are an automated screenshot service. Then I'm going to speak about the general use cases that we have and how we can help you. We are going to do a demo, a live demo, and then we are going to see some samples that we have in our website. Last, we are going to see particular use cases for different industries. And at the end, everyone will be available for a free trial and a discount. About Stillio, we are a company based in the Netherlands with a global team. We have people in 3 continents. We have been in the market for more than 13 years, and we have more than 3,000 customers. Now, I guess if it's the first time that you hear about us, you are thinking, okay, I think I can do screenshot by myself. And yes, you do. I think even a kid can do it. But what we are talking about here is to do screenshot at a scale, archiving them, creating your own heritage, and to use that screenshots as an information for the future. Now, Let's start with the general use cases. Now you're seeing 6 use cases that every small and medium company do or need to do to survive and to keep growing. Now, what I'm going to do is all these use cases, I'm going to mention how you can do screenshots or how we can do the screenshot for you in an automated way, so you don't need to do it manually. Let's start with content verification. Even if you're a small company and you sell online, you should always have a record of what you publish, your promotions, your coupons, your service, and especially your terms and conditions. So if you don't have this and you have later a problem with a customer or with anything, our service is going to be cheaper than 1 hour from your lawyer. That would be one. Second one, competition tracking. Everyone needs to be checking what is your competitor doing. So you can do it manually or you can automate it with us. Super simple. Later, SEO tracking. If you have an online service and you sell, let's say, in 25 countries, 50 countries, you might want to know how are you ranked in every country. You might want to know how are the keywords ranking there. You might want to know how are your competitors ranking there, or how are the leaders of the market ranking there. This could also be automated with our screenshot service. Now, brand management. It's super common nowadays that brands are creating their heritage of what they have been building with the brand and product in the last 15, 20 years, 10 years, and what they are going to do. So if you remember Facebook, how was the first image of the platform? It's very, very different from nowadays, but it's really cool that you can see how was the whole process and also use that to build your future. Trend tracking. Well, if you're a small commerce, a small company, let's say selling in Amazon, eBay, Walmart, you might want to also track your competitors, but also track the leaders in the market, what they are doing in line regarding content, regarding products, regarding offers. So you can also do that manually, but if you want to automate it, we can do it for you. Last but not least, website compliance. No matter in which country your company is based, you need for sure to have a record of what you publish, because there's a lot of local laws, domestic laws about archiving, about what electronic communications are for the government brand, and etc. etc. There's a lot of regulators, and it's always good to have a record of what you publish. Now, these all words, let's see how it works in reality. We are going to do a demo, and we are going to check some samples that we have in our website. As you can see, this is our free trial demo. Everyone who is interested with only an email and a name, you can do that. And we are going to use my homepage as a sample. Unfortunately, I don't have all the time to give many samples about other URLs or companies, etc. So what I'm going to do is use mine. But as you can see here, you can add the URLs if you want up to 500 or thousands, or you can capture entire sitemaps. But well, let's use mine. As you can see here is where the URLs that you want to capture, your frequency, because perhaps you want to see how is your company ranking in Google every hour, every week, every 6 months, it's going to be up to you. What do you need, and what do you think is going to be useful for you, or what your regulator is asking you to capture. Finally, we also have desktop, tablet, and mobile views. So mostly do desktop, but you can also choose the other ones. And we also have many countries if you want to see how is the page view from another place that is not your home country. From now, let's try to see how our homepage looks. And that's it. As you saw, this is something that it shouldn't take more than 1 or 2 minutes to set up, and then it's going to be automated. Every day you are going to have the screenshot that you have. Now, in the meantime, since this screenshot is going to take a couple of seconds to load, if you go to our homepage, we have example screenshot here. So we have been tracking for years CNN, Amazon, CoinMarket, and our homepage. So if you ever want to see how a long-term archiving would look, you can, check it here. And if you want to see really, really in a long time how it could be, you can put it here. I have something on my chat. Great. Ben, how far back can I see website history? So we cannot, let's say we are not the way back machine that if I put how was Stillio in 2011, how would the page? What we can do is start tracking now your homepage, and then you will be able in a couple of years to see how was your homepage today. So we work on demand, and if you want to capture your homepage, you will be able to do it from today, but we are not able to show you how it was in the past. I hope it is clear, and if not, I can send you an email with more details. Now, just to make a quick sample of this, let's say my birthday is on the 18th of September. Let's see how was the image on that date. I'm going to do it from 15 to the 22. As you see here, it's really easy to filter from the last couple of years, and this was the homepage of CNN on that day. Let's go to the sample. As you can see, we capture always from the top to the bottom, and we add a watermark on the top right if needed. Now, let's see if you want to share this screenshot or your archiving, long-term archiving or your heritage with your clients, let's say in 15 years, you will also be able to do it. You just need to click share, and I'm going to put it in the chat. So everyone, even you don't have an account with us, in the future, you will be able to share it with anyone you might want to. Now, we already see the demo and the samples. Now, let me also add, I need to. Now, our app is super easy, straightforward, and what I'm going to do now is to present some cases for different industry. So if you're in the finance industry, you need to archive all your electronic communications, and also a lot of our clients monitor their competitors, which interest rates they have, etc., etc. If you are in the e-commerce industry, we talk about it, like you need to track your competitors' pricing and promos. How do you rank in Google, and a copy of your terms and conditions. if you sell in any marketplace, let's say Amazon, eBay, Walmart, you might want to know what your competitors are doing. Always speaking about in terms of content, also how they present, and a little bit extra of this. If you want to see the Amazon bestseller ranking, you're only going to see the last 24 hours. But if you take a screenshot of it, you will be able to see what happened in the weekend while you were not working or during your time off. Legally, industry. If someone is stealing your brand or is using your brand in another country that is not allowed, you can take a screenshot of that and use it in the justice. We have a big retailer doing this, and it's working very good. So I invite everyone to check our website and see it for yourself. Regarding, they're also in the legal industry. These are all regulators that you need to be compliant with, and we always recommend it to do it because fines are super expensive. Last, if you're in media, for sure you will have a lot of sponsorships, and it's really good to have a record of the relationship between both the website, advertisers, the advertising in general. It's always good to have a record of that you publish what you promise and how did you publish it. So try us and you will know how easy and automatically you can do this. Lastly, media companies, they always want to see what the big media companies or leaders in the market are talking about, so we can also automate that. And to summarize, this is what we can do. So we can help you to track and archive the content that is going to be proof in the future, and also the content that you might use for your strategy in sales, in marketing, and everything. If anyone has any questions, I'm open. Here is my email and also a QR if you want to scan it and try our free trial. Everyone is welcome. And my email is there if anyone has any particular question or particular use case or anything.
Great. No, I really appreciate that wonderful presentation. And for everybody that is listening live or watching the replay, they have put together a fantastic offer for all of our Software Oasis listeners. So if you click on the link above the video or scan the QR code and go to Stillio, you can use all lowercase the code Software Oasis, all one word, for 50% off your subscription to Stillio. So just give it a try. And once again, the code Software Oasis, all lowercase, for 50% off. That's a very special offer.
Yes,
So,
Michael. And if anyone else come from you or your company, will always have that code. So I encourage everyone to try our free trial and see how we can automate your task.
perfect. No, thank you so much, Diego. Coming up next, from Active Campaign, we have a presentation that is sure to resonate with quite a few people. Casey Hill, who's the Senior Growth Marketing Manager over there, talks about the different channels and how, integrating a solution that is omni-channel can really benefit your brand and your messaging and keep everything organized. So I will get Casey's presentation started here. Hang on a sec.
All right, so looking forward to getting into omnichannel marketing. I was excited when Michael reached out about this topic because I think it's something that it's almost like a buzzword today. A lot of people say omnichannel marketing, but I think there's not a ton of data around what's actually working and what brands are actually doing. So excited to share some of the experiments, some of my firsthand experience testing some of these different omnichannel techniques. So I think the first kind of tenet that I think about with omnichannel marketing is really around two things. Number one, it's about how does a customer want to be communicated with? And then there's the getting into what channels are actually effective at driving specific results. And I think this can be really different depending on where you are at in the funnel. So we're going to kind of unpack both of those things. So the first step sounds really simple, but I can tell you from being in this industry for 12 years and looking at a lot of intake forms, very few people just directly ask folks things like, would you like us to send you an SMS reminder? Would you like to get discount promos? Just specifically asking folks that question is quite rare. So the first way that you start to uncode how your customers actually want to be communicated with is you just directly ask them. And this can happen at a couple points along the funnel, but I recommend top of funnel, if you have something like SMS as one of your channels, just have that as part of your form and ask people right off the bat. Next, I want to get into some of the different possible channels. When we talk about omnichannel, there's a lot of different things that can be kind of baked in there. So I'm going to walk through some of the common applications that I see and where they're kind of effective. So SMS, obviously, once we get outside of the purview of email, SMS is a common one that comes up. Twilio is a big kind of brand in that field, although there's a lot of companies like ActiveCampaign that also have some native SMS functionalities. But here I see a lot of people using it effectively for kind of two primary categories. One for reminders around specific events. It could be a reminder for a webinar. It could be a reminder for a whole number of different events. And the other is around promos or specific activations. So I've seen a lot of impact for folks that use SMS as a way to drive adoption of discount codes or different activations within that funnel process. So I think that's two spots I'd recommend if you're considering using SMS to kind of dig into. The next one is gifting. So I'm a huge advocate of gifting. I'm going to share some cohort analysis from tests that we've run, taking part of our customer base and doing gifting strategies and then comparing them to a non-gifted segment. So we're going to get into some of the data there. But I think the three spots that I've seen a lot of impact personally are around thank yous, engaging with partners, and rewarding successful partners or affiliates. This can be kind of a broad range of what type of partners. But I'm definitely a big fan of gifting. Sendoso is a great one. There's another one called Tingly that's like gifting experiences, which I'm also a big fan of. So there's a handful of brands here, but definitely a great channel to lean into. A third one that I think is kind of a lost art a little bit in the age of digital, but I still think has a lot of value is actual physical cards. So I've seen these used a lot, again, for thank yous, but also around big deal closings, around conference follow-up. Anytime where you have a little bit of context that you can play with, I think those physical cards can be really impactful. And the more personalized you're able to get with those, the better those tend to perform. A fourth channel, I think this one is, again, underutilized, is something like an RSS feed. So that as you're producing content on your blog, you're automatically funneling that content out to your users. So this is getting a little bit into also like repurposing. But I think that folks that are using RSS functionality well have this kind of consistent flow of customer education that's going out to folks. And definitely, I think, can be powerful as part of the nurturing process in the center of that funnel. And then finally, this one is one that I'm a big fan of, which is one-to-one video, right? Looking at things like first touch engagements, new trials, new bookings. I actually first found out about Bonjoro. We had a demo no-show problem at the MarTech company I was working for, and we cut that down substantially by having all of the sales reps send a one-to-one video to folks. It was tied when someone booked on Calendly, it automatically produced that task to do that through ActiveCampaign. They're all connected, and then someone could go and send out that one-to-one video. So I'm a strong advocate of personal video across the board, but especially for those first touch activations, I think that's where it can be really powerful. So just kind of as we're looking at the customer funnel, a couple kind of stories I'll share from some firsthand data that I've experienced here. So When we introduced Bonjoro here at ActiveCampaign, so ActiveCampaign also uses Bonjoro, one of the things that we saw was a big hike in trial conversion rates. So that's another spot that it can be used. I mentioned demo no-shows was kind of the first place I was exposed to it, but I've also have a lot of teams that use it around trial conversion. So if you're getting folks through the door, but you're struggling to kind of activate, that personal touch, I think, can be really powerful and is definitely something that I strongly recommend. So during that onboarding process, that's one of the omnichannel approaches that I encourage folks to do. Almost everyone who's in B2B will have some sort of email sequence. So it's not a replacement for that, but I think it can be a very powerful supplement for it. One just kind of note on this as well. I am a big fan of anytime you use any of these omnichannel approaches, tag folks. So tag folks that you send a video to, tag folks that you send gifts to or physical cards. This is going to help you when you're looking at the analytics and you're saying, like, does this actually matter? Does this channel actually perform better? It becomes much more clear when you just have that simple identification where you can pull up a group, show me everyone over the last 60 days who has this tag, compare it to the cohort that doesn't, and you can very quickly see how that omnichannel performs for you. We kind of talked about nurturing, but I think it is important to try to find how you're going to kind of scale that customer education process. So encourage folks to find out how they can do that in a way that is seamless. And then the third kind of area here is we're moving kind of from that onboarding to the nurturing to kind of the expansion phase is how are you rewarding customers, right? So we ran a test where we used Sendoso. We sent gifts to 50 of our top 100 customers, and we studied kind of what that impact was on net revenue retention, right? Which is essentially going to be looking at the churn as well as the expansion revenue that comes from that specific cohort. And the results were pretty awesome. 130% versus 105% for the ungifted cohort. So a pretty substantial increase on a quantitative level through something like sending a simple gift to someone in year one. So again, encourage folks to test these for their own businesses and see what their results are. But I find that people often kind of think of some of the things like gifting as almost like a slightly more like fluffy, like, oh, it's a nice thing to do, but it's not really going to have revenue impact. I would push people to test that and see what the results are for your own business, because I've definitely found that it can have fairly substantial revenue impact. The next thing is a test that we ran. Specifically, we ran cohort tests around folks that received personalized cards or personalized gifts within 30 days of signup. And we compared those cohorts again, like over the course of a year against those who didn't. And once again, found that increase in stickiness, a 10% stickier cohort for those who receive those personalized touch points, the personalized card, the personalized gifts during that initial setup period. And so I think this is a really powerful way as you're looking to layer in an omnichannel approach into your business strategy. Strongly encourage folks to test that personalized gift or that physical card as soon as possible. And one of the things I'll note is, and this is something that I go to battle on all the time with marketers, part of how you create better personalization with an omnichannel approach is you need to gather more information up front. And a lot of teams are very reluctant to do that. A lot of people are like, you just need to have one field, just ask for email, don't overcomplicate it. I find that gathering more information is what's going to allow you to have that better omnichannel approach. So I strongly encourage folks to do that. There also are ways to kind of work around the challenge of asking too much. You can do things like progressive profiling. So companies like Typeforms, I'm sure many of the listeners are familiar with, you can ask one question at a time, right? By doing that, you're able to get folks in the door immediately, but you potentially gather that additional information. It's going to help you send a better personalized gift or help you send that more relevant card where you, for instance, name their industry or some sort of connection point like that. I think an important thing as you're going through this process, I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but you want to use AI, you want to use system intelligence. So things like lead scoring, things like predictive sending to find out what is actually driving results for your brand. So I mentioned a handful of omnichannel approaches that I found success over my career working with brands and tests that we've run, but every customer base is a little bit different, right? So I think as you go and you think about how could you add SMS or physical cards or gifts or video, or there's many other omnichannel techniques you can try, I strongly encourage you to tag folks who receive these different omnichannel approaches, look at conversion rates, look at retention, and use things like lead scoring to assign points to folks so that it's easy for you to see, oh, hey, this is a flow that we know is working very effectively for our organization, and we want to layer in more of those types of touch points where it makes sense. So definitely encourage people to find tools and find systems that allow you to do that lead scoring and allow you to do that predictive sending of these omnichannel touch points at spots where they make sense. And I just want to touch on this very briefly. We've been talking about a lot of the specific channels that encompass omnichannel, but it's also important to note that, in my opinion, omnichannel also covers things like repurposing. So make sure as you're building quality content that lives on your blog or that lives in your social posts, you're also taking that same content and you're repurposing it through those other channels that we're talking about. So I think that's also an important part of this is when you have one good piece of content, don't have it just live in one area. Make sure that that is used across 3-4 different channels, and you're going to get the most bandwidth out of that content. So 15 minutes is a relatively quick walkthrough of omnichannel, but hopefully folks are left with a couple ideas of specific different channels beyond email that they can experiment with. And hopefully folks are starting to have the gears turn about how they can also measure this. Because at the end of the day, how you measure it is going to be how you're going to be able to do more of it and how you're going to be able to sell this internally to your executive leadership. We should be doing more physical cards. We should be doing more gifting. We should be doing more SMS. That is going to be contingent on your ability to drive results with those channels. So hopefully folks take time to dive in, and hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, I think that was great, and it really drives home the point of, the importance of all of your channels, being actively engaged in your marketing efforts as you're, getting content out there. The next presentation relates to, keeping current with the channels as channels continue to evolve. Video over the most recent period is really becoming one of the quickest growing channels, and one of the areas that every marketer needs to have in their stack of tools. It's a really key area to focus on, to be sure that you're able to get your messaging out there, and not only get your messaging out there, but being able to get messages that are going to resonate with your audience. So this next solution is actually a solution that we developed here internally at Software Oasis. It's our YabaSoft interactive video solution. And hopefully this gives everyone, or sparks a few great ideas. And at the top of the video here, we're going to leave a link for anyone that would like to get a deeper demo of the YabaSoft interactive video solution. I'd like to share a solution that we actually developed here internally, and talk about the power of interactive video. The solution that we developed is called YabaSoft Interactive Videos. And the reason that we developed this solution was to be able to add interactivity to the videos that people are watching on our website. So many companies have videos on YouTube, Vimeo, AWS, all the different platforms. And one of the downsides to all of these platforms is you're not able to easily add different interactive elements into the videos, like shoppable links, lead capture forms, quizzes, appointment booking, etc. So what we did was we actually developed an internal technology to add these elements to our videos, and that's a little bit about what I'm going to talk about today. So just to give everyone an overview, first I'm going to provide a little bit of an introduction to interactive video, and then I'll get into some of these other areas that you see up here on the screen, and what you need to know to get started with interactive video. So obviously the video segment is growing at a pretty quick clip, as we've heard on today's webinar. So a lot of companies, whether you have a product or a service offering, are just getting to the point where they're getting a lot of videos and all of that live, and it's a great experience for their customers. Interactive video allows you to up it one notch and really help your visitors to engage with the content that you're putting out. So as you've heard, on this webinar, obviously you can go from the ability to create videos with AI like you can with Pictory, all the way up to the other end of the range, where you're actually having professionally produced content, as you've heard from Doug over at Edit Point Video, and a lot of the in between. But at the end of the day, the final product is the video that you're producing. So with interactive video, some of the best use cases are, boosting engagement. So obviously, at the end of the day, everyone is looking to have their customers interact with their videos, increasing conversions, collecting data. So, for example, we have an SEO client that uses interactive video on their website for booking appointments, and they're actually able to book appointments at the peak of their customers' interest when they're watching the video and they're ready to schedule a call. You can also personalize experiences within the videos, and this is very interesting because at a high level, being able to personalize anything is going to increase your conversions on your website. But personalizing a video is unique in that it allows some different capabilities. So let me give an example. One of the companies using the Yabasoft interactive video is able to use the solution to actually guide the journey of their customers in the sign up process on their website. So what they'll do is they'll actually segment the customers into different groups, or actually the customers segment themselves by choosing or answering questions along the way. They're able to customize the journey of content that they see within the video. So by answering certain questions, it'll either point them to a different segment within the video or an altogether different video on the platform itself. And finally, the last area would be for brand awareness. So a lot of companies want the ability to add an interactive element to the video so that individuals watching the video can interact with their brand. What's interesting to me is a recent study that was actually done, which showed the impact of interactive video on the whole sales process and purchasing cycle. As you can see here, 25% of the individuals that started the process of watching a video, it actually increased the conversion rate by 25% for that group that watched the interactive video versus a non-interactive video. And the results were 18% more leads produced from the same group of customers and 14% more sales generated. And for anyone that is using paid advertising for generating traffic to their website or videos, using a solution like this allows for a much better conversion rate. And as we all know, with the ever increasing cost of paid advertising, any little bit of additional conversion that can be attained from that same funnel of traffic shows huge impacts to the bottom line of any campaign. And a lot of companies that are running paid advertising campaigns are the ones seeing the best success with our platform. This study was actually very interesting. We're all familiar with BuzzFeed, And BuzzFeed actually has a tremendous volume of traffic to their website. Here you can see in this survey, it was during a time where they had just about 96 million visits to the BuzzFeed website. And this was actually a study that was sourced from SimilarWeb in terms of the stats. But what's interesting here is you can see that in the study, the number one keyword to their website which produced traffic was obviously the name BuzzFeed. But if you look at the couple of segments related to quizzes, you can see that nearly 20% of the visitors that came to the BuzzFeed website were typing in quiz-related terms. So this is a huge opportunity to add interactivity or quizzes right within the videos to provide the type of content that BuzzFeed visitors are actually looking for. Other features like shoppable links, lead forms, calls to actions, data collection can all be embedded right within the videos as well. So it's a very exciting opportunity. Now, one of the biggest benefits to interactive video is the ability to increase conversions and engagement. And as you can see with this chart here, we're able to see that the level of engagement boosts, increased engagement, and resulting higher completion rates are all quite positive. And clearly, as you see from the green dollar sign up there at the right, all add to the ability for companies to see an increased result to their bottom line. So adding interactive video at the end of the day increases conversions, increases engagement, and the resulting bottom line. Now, interactive video does increase conversions, but what are some of the stats related to this? So as we can see here from a couple of recent studies, 84% of consumers purchased a product after watching a marketing video for it that included interactive capabilities. So that is a tremendous percentage right there. And interactive video does allow calls to action and other purchase elements to be embedded right in the video. And we can see that visitors that are coming to your website that are engaging with your content are actually pushed further down the marketing funnel, closer to that conversion or purchase element within the funnel by adding the interactivity. Now, one of the interesting things, I just want to show an example here. If you look up at the top left and bottom right of the screen, here's an example of Yabasoft interactive video that includes both a link to the product page at the top left, right within the video while the person is watching the video, as well as the ability to book a test drive right within the video. So you can see how, with a product such as an automobile, the ability to book just a few more conversions can have a huge impact to an auto dealership's bottom line. So that's one reason that many companies are taking a lot of the existing video content that they have and adding interactivity to it. So one of the things that we were looking to do with the Yabasoft platform was make the solution easy for people to use and easy for organizations to use by allowing the videos to stay wherever they are. So you can leave your videos on YouTube, on AWS, on any of the Vimeo, any of the other platforms, or you can import them directly into the Yabasoft platform and add the interactivity to those videos. So you're still able to, generate your shares and your likes and your comments and all of that on on the native platforms, but you can also add the functionality that'll help boost bottom line profits and conversions. And with the capabilities, you can also add some pretty exciting features, shoppable videos. And that essentially means that you can add shoppable elements right within the video. For example, a fruit and nut company could right within the video, while they're showing new offerings for candies or fruits or nuts, they can actually show a modal or a display right within the video that has links so that customers can actually purchase the items directly from the video on the website. Another capability that we touched on earlier was the conditional logic or personalization. So within those same videos, you can actually have guided journeys for your customers where you're actually helping them to get to the segment of the video that they're looking to interact with quickly. And by doing that, you can actually, better service their intent of the search and get them to where they're looking to get to quicker, which will obviously lower your bounce rate on your website and increase your conversions and make Google happy as well. So the last detail is a video sales page or playlist. So those are two different elements. You can add playlists like we're all familiar with to allow your customers to interact with other content that might be related that they're interested in. But a video sales page actually allows you to create a standalone landing page where you can actually add, like a header and a bit of copy and text and some bullet points, as well as the video, so that you can create a very interactive one-off page to quickly launch a campaign without having to, get involved with a tech department or other departments within your organization to actually get a landing page live. So that's a nice feature that we built into the solution. And analytics are obviously very important for any marketing campaign or any organization to be able to understand how making some of these changes is impacting your conversion and click-through rates and engagement rates. So all of that is built right into the Yabasoft interactive video platform. You can also integrate data from different solutions that you may be using. So many companies might be using MailChimp or Aweber or ConvertKit or ActiveCampaign or other solutions like that for CRM and marketing automation. All of those integrations are built right into the platform, as well as the ability to add in, tracking through Google Analytics and other platforms that are popular for tracking. And for any of the solutions that are not natively integrated within Yabasoft Interactive, there are also third-party, hooks. So, for example, you could use different things like Make or Zapier or any of the other automation platforms to add in literally thousands of different solutions. But all of the big ones that you would expect are already incorporated into the solution. So I really want to thank everybody for their time today. Interactive video clearly is the future of video marketing from where we sit. We've been using it since we developed the platform and have found that it adds quite a bit to a great user experience and to our bottom line. So you can differentiate your brand and boost your ROI with this Yabasoft solution. And for anybody that's on the webinar today, feel free. You can schedule a demo at the interactive link above and transform your existing videos with interactivity today.